Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining this morning. Let's make a start with Radha Madhav. Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunj Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunj Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Giravardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Giravardhari Shodanandana Vraj Jana Ranjana Shodanandana Vraj Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Hari Hari Bol. Thank you all for joining. Thank you, Praveen Mataji. Hope all is well. And let's continue. Om Agyantimritasya Gyananjana Shalakya Chakshur Unmiltam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Samrupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapatantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapadakamalam Shri Guru Veshvacha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvitam Samdutam Krishna Setam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Vishakhan Vitam Scha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Deshavanu Sutadevi Pranmami Haripriya Pancha Kalpata Vrihascha Kripa Sindhavevacha Patitana Pavnebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Nama Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pasthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Parcharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasti Go Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Mukham Kroti Vachalam Pangum Langyate Gurim Yat Kripatam Mandashe Guru Nitarnam Paramananda Madhvam Shri Chaitanya Ishram Hariyam Tassat Narayam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamaduriyat Nasta Prasya Abdureshu Nityam Bhagavad-Sevayā Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Nishtiki. Wonderful. Okay, so we're doing verses 26 to 33. Hare Krishna. So verse 26. Namani Nantasya Hatrapha Pathan Guyani Badrani Kartani Cha Samaran Kam Priyattam Tatsta Managat Spriha Kalam Pratikshan Vimado Vimatsaraha. So Namani, the holy name, fame, etc., Anantasya of the unlimited, Hattarpaha, being freed from all formalities of the material world, Pathan, by recitation, repeated reading, Guhyani, mysteries, Padrani, all, benedictory, Kritani, activities, Cha and Smran, constantly remembering, Gam, on the earth, Prayatan, traveling all through, Tust, Manha, fully satisfied, Gats, Priha, completely freed from all material desires, Kalam, time, Pratikshan, waiting, Vimadha, without being proud, Vimatsarha, without being envious. So, Srila Prabhupada says, the life of a sincere devotee of the Lord is thus explained in a nutshell by Narad Muni by his personal example. So, in the translation, thus I began chanting the holy name and fame of the Lord by repeated recitation, ignoring all the formalities of the material world. Such chanting and remembering of the transcendental pastimes of the Lord are benedictory. So doing, I traveled all over the earth, being satisfied, humble, and unenvious. So that was the quality of the sincere devotee of the Lord. And such a devotee, after his initiation by the Lord or his bona fide representative, takes very seriously chanting of the glories of the Lord and traveling all over the world so that others may also hear the glories of the Lord. So you have to share. This is what Krishna wants, that you share his glories. Such devotees have no desire for material gain. They are conducted by one single desire, to go back to Godhead. This awaits them in due course on quitting the material body, because they have the highest aim of life, going back to Godhead. They are never envious of anyone, nor are they proud of being eligible to go back to Godhead. Their only business is to chant and remember the holy name, fame, and pastimes of the Lord, and according to personal capacity, to distribute the message for others' welfare without motive or material gain. So, like we were saying last time, that the sannyasis, if they are going to someone's house, it's not that they need anything from them. Everything's provided in the forest for the requirements, but they go to help other people, to give them this transcendental knowledge, which is not easy to come by or even to understand. You need somebody, who's had the mercy to pass that message on to you. And so let's see if there's anything here. So Srila Prabhupada explains that Narad Muni, he chanted non-stop. He was remembering Krishna. At initiation, you are making commitment, you are taking some vows. Hellish planets, heavenly planets, in spiritual world, just want to serve wherever you are. So you're taking vows to serve. That's what we also discussed last time, that sometimes somebody may get initiated and think, right, I've got it now, I don't need to do anything. I'm initiated, I'm part of the family, I'm part of the team, I'm part of the parampara. So sometimes they do slow down their services, but the idea is to serve more. And Narad Muni, he was totally committed. So he had no material motive for gain, and that's how we should be. Chant and remember the holy name, fame and pastimes of the Lord according to personal capacity. So Narad Muni is perfecting his bhakti through Vaidhi sadhana bhakti. This leads to Vaikuntha. We are aspiring for Raganuga sadhana bhakti. So this is very interesting here. So if you just do Vaidhi bhakti, you will only go far as Vaikuntha. But if you want to go back to Goloka, then you need to Raga Nuga sadhana bhakti. So there's this Vaidhi sadhana bhakti and Raganuga sadhana book is spontaneous. Raga means attachment, and Nuga, that means following. We have to follow an eternal servant of the Lord. But you have to follow their mood and their footsteps, how they serve. And if you get into that state, then you can go back home too. It's like audition. You have to show that you can do this, and you have to mimic, kind of, maybe mimic is not the right word, but you have to show that you can serve, or you just learn from the style of the particular devotee that you get inspired by one of the eternal servants. So we are aspiring for Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. At the end of this life, then we will be transported to a particular universe in the house of one of the gopis, according to our rasa. So this is very deep stuff. And relationship with Krishna, where we can join and serve Krishna in his pastimes. And the manjaris will train us up to become perfect. Then we will go to Goloka Vrindavan. So if we can perfect yourself to the stage of Baba, then we will realize our true rasa that we have with Krishna in the spiritual world. So first of all, you take birth in a gopi's house as a gopa or a gopi in Krishna Leela, wherever that's going on. Obviously, it's not going on here. That happened 5,000 years ago. But these Leelas are eternal. They are like, they just get passed on from one universe to another. So you get transferred to that universe where that, once you qualify from here, you get transferred to that universe to be part of the Leela. And then after completion, you go to Goloka Vrindavan, the real Goloka, or you could say that the Goloka not in the material world, in the spiritual world. So 27. Evam Krishnamate Brahma Nasaktasya Malatmanah Kala Pardhaura Bhutkale Tadit Sodamani Yatha. So evam, thus Krishna Mathe, one who is fully absorbed in thinking of Krishna, Brahman or Vyasdev, not Asaktasya, of one who is attached, Amal Atmana, of one who is completely free from all material dirt, Kalha, death, Pradurabhut, become visible, Kale, in the course of time, Tadit, lightening, Sodamani, illuminating, Yatha, as it is. So, O Brahman, Vyasdev, in due course of time, I, who was fully absorbed in thinking of Krishna, and who therefore had no attachments, being completely freed from all material taints, met with death as lightning and illumination occur simultaneously. Interesting. To be fully absorbed in the thought of Krishna means clearance of material dirts or hankerings. And a very rich man has no hankerings for small petty things. So also a devotee of Lord Krishna, who is guaranteed to pass on to the kingdom of God, where life is eternal, fully cognizant and blissful, naturally has no hankerings for petty material things, which are like dolls or shadows of the reality and are without permanent value. That is a sign of spiritually enriched persons. And in due course of time, when a pure devotee is completely prepared, all of a sudden the change of body occurs, which is commonly called death. And for the pure devotee, such a change takes place exactly like lightning, and illumination follows simultaneously. That is to say, a devotee simultaneously changes his material body and develops a spiritual body. So you lose the material body by the will of the Supreme. Even before death, a pure devotee has no material affection due to his body being spiritualized like a red hot iron in contact with fire. So it's explained that by being absorbed in Krishna, then you cannot be absorbed in Maya. You become a billionaire or be a king of a country. If your body is diseased or ill, you are not able to gratify your senses. You can see the illusion of material things which are only with you while you are able to enjoy them in this body. So at the time of death, everything will be left here. All bank accounts, all assets. So what good is this wealth? So all that is temporary is left here. Real wealth is the holy name and the connection with the Lord, which will get us the ticket back home to Godhead. As soon as the impurities are cleansed, we will be fully absorbed in Krishna. As devotees prepare for death, living our lives in Krishna consciousness is the preparation. By completely absorbed, we become spiritualized. We are praying to Krishna, please cleanse my heart, as Cheto Darpana Marjanam. So, Nardmuni, he was completely absorbed in the thoughts of the Lord, in his service, and then he left his body according to the purport. So when you become purified, then you have no hankering for any material things, and that is the check that how purified we are. Prayujamane maitam shudam bhagavatim tanum arabdha karma nirvano nyapatat panch bhutikaha. So prayujamane, having been awarded, may on me tam that shudam transcendental bhagavatim, fit for associating with the person of Godhead, tanum body, arabdha acquired, karam fruity work, nirvana prohibitive, nyapatat quit, panchabhutika body made of 5 material elements. Having been awarded a transcendental body befitting an associate or personality of Godhead, I quit the body made of 5 material elements, and thus all acquired fruitive results of work, karma, stopped. So informed by the person of Godhead that he would be awarded a transcendental body befitting the Lord's association, Narad got his spiritual body as soon as he quit his material body. So this transcendental body is free from material affinity and invested with 3 primary transcendental qualities, namely eternity, freedom from material modes, and freedom from reactions of fruitive activities. So the modes can no longer touch you, and this body is not temporary, it's eternal, and there is no hankering for material activities. The material body is always afflicted with the lack of these 3 qualities. A devotee's body becomes at once charged with the transcendental quality as soon as he is engaged in the devotion service of the Lord. It acts like the magnetic influence of a touchstone upon iron. The influence of transcendental devotion service is like that. Therefore, change of the body means stoppage of the reactions of 3 quality modes of material nature upon the pure devotee. There are many instances of this in the revealed scriptures. So examples are Dhruv Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj and many other devotees were able to see the person of Godhead face to face, apparently in the same body. This means that the quality of a devotee's body changes from material to transcendence. That is the opinion of authorized Goswamis via the authentic scriptures. In the Brahma Samhita, it is said that beginning from Indra Gopa Jam up to the great Indra, king of heaven, all living beings are subjected to the law of karma and are bound to suffer and enjoy the fruitive results of their own work. Only the devotees exempt from such reactions because the causeless mercy of spiritual authority, the personality of Godhead. And so that's 28, it says here. So this Narad Muni's process was beautiful, and the result was beautiful. He no longer has a material body. Narad's fan of karma has now completely stopped. And we all know that the fan of karma, even though it's been unplugged, keeps running for a while, just like a fan. You switch it off, but it's going such a high speed, it slows down and slows down and slows down and completely stops eventually. So similar with us, our when you become a devotee, your fan of your karma is unplugged, but it takes time for it to completely stop. So in the case of Narad Muni, his fan had completely stopped, and then he was able to get a spiritual body. So by devotional service, we can become purified. Our body becomes transformed and devotionalized. Krishna takes charge of our karma. Our only business is to hear and chant the glories of Krishna. That's all we need to do. Your identity in the spiritual world is revealed on the level of bhav. So once we achieve the level of bhav from Shraddha to Prema, when you get to the level of bhava, which is after Asakti, when Asakti, pure attachment, reaches its full potential, then you reach the stage of bhava. That's like unripened, like unripened mango. So you're there, prema is there, but it's not quite just ripened yet. So when bhava is completely ripened, then it becomes prema. So every stage has to become ripened before it reaches the next stage. So that's when you discover your spiritual body or your spiritual identification. Your identity in the spiritual world is revealed on the level of bhava. So it's a process, right? It's a continuous process. You will eternally be serving in that service. In the stage of prema, you become fully absorbed in that service. You leave your body and take birth in an environment suitable for your service, where Lord Krishna's pastimes are going on, then return back to Goloka, as we were just discussing. And these services, they're not like, menial, like in the material world. They are full of rasa, and there's a lot of interaction in the service, and you actually enjoy doing those services, and the services are done with love. So there's a lot of enjoyment, satisfaction in doing. Just like I suppose, small example, like you enjoy serving your children, or a child enjoys serving. You don't find that that I'm doing this is very heavy on me. It's I don't enjoy. People enjoy serving the children. So that little enjoyment, it's like a sample here. We see that when we love someone, we enjoy serving them. And Krishna is the ultimate of that love. And you enjoy loving him, and he reciprocates. And you enjoy more and more serving him. You want to serve him. So, okay, next one. Kalpant idam adaya shayane ambasi udan vatha shishayisho anupranam vivishe tar aham vibho. So kalpante, at the end of Brahma's day, so like kalpa, idam, these adaya, taken together, shayan, having gone to lie down, ambasi, in the causal water, udanvatha, devastation, shishesho, lying of the person personality of Godhead, Narayan, Anuprana, breathing, Vivishe, entered into, Anta, within, Aham, I, Vibhu, of Lord Brahma. So at the end of the millennium, when the personality of Godhead, Lord Narayan, lay down within the water of devastation, Brahma began to enter into him along with all creative elements, and I also entered through his breathing. Interesting. So Narad is known as the son of Brahma. So as Lord Krishna is known as the son of Vasudeva. The personality of Godhead and his liberated devotees like Narad appear in the material world by the same process. As it is said in the Bhagavad-Gita, the birth and activities of the Lord are all transcendental. Therefore, according to authorized opinion, the birth of Narad as the son of Brahma is also a transcendental pastime. His appearance and disappearance are practically on the same level as that of the Lord. The Lord and his devotees are therefore simultaneously one and different as spiritual entities. They belong to the same category of transcendence. So there's this lot of this Veda, Aveda, Achintya, Aveda, Aveda goes on with the living entities and the Lord. So their devotees are therefore simultaneously one and different as spiritual entities. So just to extend on that, Narad Muni in Krishna Leela is Narad. Naradi, not Narad. Narad Muni in Krishna Leela he is Naradi. In Chaitanya Leela he is Shivas Thakur. So nobody wanted to miss pastime of Lord Chaitanya. So they all came, even Sadashiv and Brahmaji, they all wanted to be in Lord Chaitanya's pastime. So they all came along. Yes, we want to, please give us a role as well. We want a part in that, in your pastime. So Panch Tattva consisting of Radha, Krishna, Balaram, Mahavishnu, Sadashiv and Narad Muni. So many of the associates, the gopis and the manjis are there taking part in the Leela as well. All the branches and everything, even Arjun is there. These are all eternal pastimes which take place in the unlimited planets and universes in cycles as material, in the material universes. The whole material creation and destruction is through Mahavishnu's breathing. The partial creation and destruction is from Brahma's day and night. And anyway, that's a different aspect. But yeah, so these pastimes go on, as we said, in different universes. And everybody wants to be part of that. They're always in the material world. Somebody, is hit at the moment, some singer or an actor, and everybody wants a role with them. Everybody wants to sing with them. Everybody wants to be, to do a film with them, like that. But in Krishna's house, it's always hit. Everybody wants, although these pastimes are eternal, they're always a hit, and everybody wants a role in that, and they want to be part of that. Sesra yug prayante uthayadam sisrikshataha marichi mishra rishya prane byoam sa janire. Sesra 1000 yug 4.3 million years prayante at the end of the duration, uthaya having expired, idam this, sisrikshataha desire to create again, Marichi Mishra, rishis like Marichi, Rishyaha, all the rishis, Prane Bhaya, out of his senses, Aham I Cha also, Judge Nire appeared. After 4.3 billion solar years, when Brahma awoke to create again by the will of the Lord, all the rishis like Mrichi, Angira, Atri and so on were created from the transcendental body of the Lord, and I also appeared along with them. The duration of a day in the life of Brahma is 4.32 billion solar years, and then you have 4.32 billion years night. This is stated also in the Bhagavad-Gita. So for this period, Brahmaji rests in Nindra, within the body of the Garbhodaksha Vishnu, the generator of Brahma. So that must be the night. Thus, after the sleeping period of Brahma, when there is again creation by the will of the Lord through the agency of Brahma, all the great rishis again appear from different parts of the transcendental body, and Narad also appears. This means that Narad appears in the same transcendental body just as a man awakes from sleep in the same body. Sri Narad is eternally free to move in all parts of the transcendental and material creations of the Almighty. He appears and disappears in his own transcendental body, which is without distinction of body and soul, unlike conditioned beings. So, okay, got nothing on that. So that's, I guess, is self-explanatory, how the days and the nights work in the life of Lord Brahma, and he has, that's 4.32 billion solar years, our years, and that's in just one day. And Lord Brahma lives for 100 years. So you can imagine that's like 311 trillion solar years. Antarbahishcha lokam strin paryemi askandita vrataha anugrahan mahavishno avigat gathi kapachit. So Anta in the transcendental world, Bahi in the material world, Cha and Lokan, planets in three divisions, Par Yemi travel, Asankadita, unbroken, Vrataha vow, Anugrahat by the causeless mercy, Mahavishnu of the Mahavishnu, who is Karnadaksha Vishnu as well, Avigat without restriction, Gatihi entrance, Kavachit at any time. Since then, by the grace of the Almighty Vishnu, I travel everywhere without restriction, both in the transcendental world and in the three divisions of the material world. This is because I am fixed in unbroken devotional service of the Lord. Amazing. So, as stated in the Bhagavad-Gita, there are three divisions of the material spheres, namely the Urdhva Lok, the topmost planets, Madhya Lok, midway planets, Adolok, downward planets. And you see in the past times they always talk about three lok, Tino Loko mein, as they say. So beyond the Urdhva Lok planets, that is to say above the Brahma Loka, are the material coverings of the universes. And above that is the spiritual sky, which is unlimited in expansion, containing unlimited self-illuminated Vaikuntha planets inhabited by God Himself along with His associates, who are all eternally liberated living entities. Śrīmad Muni could enter all these planets in both the material and spiritual spheres without restriction, as much as the Almighty Lord is free to move personally in any part of His creation. Yeah, so He's an empowered soul, and he has so much liberty to go wherever he wants. And the Lord has full faith in him. In the material world, living beings are influenced by the three material modes of nature, namely goodness, passion, and ignorance. But Śrīmad Muni is transcendental to all these material modes, and thus he can travel everywhere unrestricted. He is a liberated spaceman. And in the movies they give such a bad name, who've seen these Bollywood films, how they, Brad Muni is seen as trouble. Whenever he arrives, he's seen as trouble, but he's transcendental, and he knows exactly what to do and how to make things right. He's representing the Lord in putting things in place. But he's always portrayed as a troublemaker. The causeless mercy of Lord Vishnu is unparalleled, and as such mercy is perceived by the devotees only by the grace of the Lord. Therefore, the devotees now fall down, but the materialists, i.e., the fruity workers and the speculative philosophers, do fall down, being forced by their respective modes of nature. The rishis, as above mentioned, cannot enter into the transcendental world like Narad. This fact is disclosed in the Narasimha Puran. Rishis like Marichi are authorities in fruity work, and rishis like Sanak and Sanatan of the four Kumaras are authorities in philosophical speculations. But Sri Narad Muni is the prime authority for transcendental devotional service of the Lord. All the great authorities in the devotional service of the Lord follow in the footsteps of Narad Muni in order of the Narad Bhakti Sutra, and therefore all the devotees of the Lord are unhesitatingly qualified to enter into kingdom of God, Vaikuntha. So if we follow the example of Narad Muni, seek his blessings to perfect our lives and follow our Bhaktivedanta, Srila Prabhupada, just like Narad, Srila Prabhupada traveled the world so many times and spread Krishna consciousness throughout the world. He was prepared to go to other universes. That is the vision of the Bhaktivedanta. So, and Srila Prabhupada said that, if I have to, I will go to other universes and spread the holy name. He thought big. He wasn't just thinking about just India or just Europe or just America. He wasn't just thinking about this universe or just other planets. He's thinking about any universe, willing to go anywhere, just like Narad Muni. So we'll just quickly finish 32, 33. So Devadatam Imam Vishtam Swar Brahma Vibhushitam Murchai Yipa Hari Katham Kayamanas Charami Aham. So Deva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, Datam, gifted by Imam this, Veenam, a musical stringed instrument, Swa, singing Meta, Brahma, transcendental, Vibhushitam, decorated with, Murachitva, vibrating, Hari, Katham, transcendental message, Gayamana, singing constantly, Charami, do move, Aham, I. And thus I travel constantly singing the transcendental message of the glories of the Lord, vibrating this instrument called a veena, which is charged with transcendental sound, which was given to me by Lord Krishna. So that's where he got his veena from Lord Krishna himself. The musical string instrument called the veena, which was handed to Narad by Lord Krishna, is described in the Ling Puran, and this is confirmed by Srila Jiva Goswami. This transcendental instrument is identical with Lord Sri Krishna and Narad because all of them are of the same transcendental category. Sound vibrated by the instrument cannot be material, and therefore the glories and pastime which are broadcast by the instrument of Narad are also transcendental. So Narad, he loved to sing the glories of the Lord, and Lord Krishna, with his approval, gave him the instrument. Look, go and sing my glories all over, everywhere. And therefore the glories and pastime which are broadcast by the instrument Narad are also transcendental, without a tinge of material inability. The 7 singing meters, namely Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Pa, Dha, Ni, Sa, Dani, are also transcendental and specifically meant for transcendental songs. As a pure devotee of the Lord, Sri Naradev is always fulfilling his obligation to the Lord for his gift of the instrument, and thus he is always engaged in singing his transcendental glories, and is therefore infallible in his exalted position. Following in the footsteps of Srila Naradev, a self-realized soul in the material world should also properly use the sound meters, namely Sare, Gama, etc., in the service of the Lord by constantly singing the glories of the Lord as confirmed in the Bhagavad-Gita. So it's nice to do kirtan and as an offering to the Lord. So the Lord, being pleased with the service of Narad, encouraged him by giving him a music accompaniment given by Lord Krishna to Narad. All musical instruments and other items are all conscious in the spiritual world. So all transcendental instruments are conscious Radharani also has a veena. It's her favorite instrument. There you go. Everything in the, nothing is dead in the spiritual world. Everything is alive, right? Everything is a service to the Lord. All the music instruments are there to serve the Lord. The trees are there to serve the Lord. The rivers are there to serve the Lord. And that's the bhav of that's a service of those entities. So everything has a soul. They're all alive in the spiritual world. And finally, Pragyatha Swaviryani Tirthpadha Priya Sarva Sharva Ahuta eva me sigram darshanam yati chetasi. So Pragyataha, the singing Swaviryani on activities Tirthpadha, the Lord whose lotus feet are the source of all virtues or holiness. Priya Sharvaha, pleasing to hear. Ahutha, called for. Eva, just like me to me. Shigra, very soon. Darshanam, sight. Yati, appears. Chetasi, on the seat of the heart. The Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, whose glories and activities are pleasing to hear, at once appears on the seat of my heart, as if called for, as soon as I begin to chant his holy activities. The absolute personality Godhead is not different from his transcendental name, fame, pastimes, and the sound vibrations of thereof. As soon as a pure devotee engages himself in the pure devotional service of hearing, chanting, and remembering the name, fame, and the activities of the Lord, at once he becomes visible in the transcendental eyes of the pure devotee by reflecting himself on the mirror of the heart by spiritual television. Therefore, a pure devotee who is related with the Lord in loving transcendental service can experience the presence of the Lord at every moment. It is natural psychology in every individual case that a person likes to hear and enjoy his personal glories enumerated by others, and that's even Krishna. That is a natural instinct, and the Lord, being also an individual personality like others, is not an exception. So Lord has feelings too, he has emotions. Is not an exception to this psychology, because psychological characteristics visible in the individual souls are but reflections of the same psychology in the absolute Lord. The only difference is that the Lord is the greatest personality of all absolute in all his affairs. Therefore, the Lord is attracted by the pure devotee chanting of his glories. There is nothing astonishing. Since he is absolute, he can appear himself in the picture of his glorification. The two things being identical, Srila Narad chants the glorification of the Lord, not for his personal benefit, but because the glorifications are identical with the Lord. Narad Muni penetrates into the presence of the Lord by the transcendental chanting, and he is always glorifying the Lord, and no wonder they get on so well. He's always remembering the Lord. So at the beginning we purify ourselves through his chanting his name, then we associate with him through chanting his names, because the Lord is none different. Even by meditating on pictures of the Lord, we're entering the spiritual world, because the pictures are like a window to the spiritual world. Even pictures are like a window to the spiritual world. So this is amazing. This is Narad Muni. Before he was telling us about his life here in the material world, and now he's even given us a window into the spiritual world. I mean, who else can do that apart from Narad Muni? He's lived life like us. He said, look, I managed to get to the spiritual world. Then he's even showed us a glimpse of the spiritual world, of the spiritual body that he received. He said he was in the Krishna Leela, and he even comes again into the Gaura Leela, and he is an eternal servant, associate of the Lord. So amazing pastimes. So thank you so much, and would like to hear from yourselves. Maybe we can start with Sureshi Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everybody. Well, we had listening about Narad Muni, his spiritual body, spiritual soul, everything. We are material, and we can compare ourselves to Narad Muni, but we can follow the guidelines what is when done by Narad Muni, because he's liberated soul, and we are conditioned. But we give an example that we can try and get liberated like he did. And we are born in this material world and given a chance to get back to Godhead. I mean, that should be our goal of our life. That's why we are born. But we overcome by Maya, sanctification, desires, false ego like this is mine, this is world, the whole world is fighting, this is mine, this is yours, and we are trapped in this material world. Krishna says in Bhagavad-Gita that this world, this material world is asatam and dukhalayam. It's temporary and full of miseries. It's not suitable for a living being to live here. That's why he's calling us, he's giving instruction in Bhagavad-Gita, how to come back to him. But being conditioned, we try to follow, but it's very hard to follow. And we tell us how to get rise above the three modes of material nature. And while we do the devotional service, while doing devotional service, we get attachment to Krishna, because we see Krishna, we say Krishna every day, we get attachment. And we get attachment, then we love Krishna, and then we chant Krishna's name. And at the time of the birth, we can remember Krishna's name. That is the testing time for all living entities. And when we remember Krishna at the time of the birth, then we won't return to this world again. Krishna says in Bhagavad-Gita, Antakale Shamame Samaran Niswaparingam. Whoever remembers me and quits his body at death attains my nature. He says that. And this Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, is our therapy for this material, this age, Kali Yuga. And when you are sick or anything, you have to do some therapy or anything. So this is our mantra, is our therapy. And so Lord Chaitanya recommended that the greatest achievement of human life is to achieve grace and love of the God. If you have got the love of God, that means you achieved everything in your life. And by chanting the holy name and eating prasadam, one can have perfection in life, and then go back to Godhead. So Narad Muni, he was the devotee, he was the spiritual body, and he was doing everything transcendental. Any material thing can be changed to transcendental. Like we eating food, cooking for ourselves, or cook for Krishna. We do anything, do it for Krishna. Not all material things can change into transcendental. So these are all given in Bhagavatam. These are our guidelines how to do, we must go footsteps of devotees. We have to follow, and that's how we can do it. And I mean, like we say Krishna in material world, when we leave our body, we go to a spiritual world, we have to continue our devotional service. So if we do it here, I can do it there as well nicely. And Krishna gives us chance by Bhagavatam Gita, follow the devotee. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. Kiran Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, everybody. So many amazing points that always arise from these verses. I'm always at a loss where to start. Maybe I'll start by saying that I was taken back by the metaphor of the fan. Because when you come into the spiritual life or the road of bhakti, then the material fan gets disconnected. And that disconnection isn't straight away, because the fan is still whirling around, but it slows down. And this hankering for the material desires will lessen the more we engage in the material world. So engage in the spiritual world or in God realization. And so let that be a lesson, that detach from the material to attach to the spiritual. And it's a little bit like snakes and ladders. Every day we engage in activities which are pious, so we go up the ladder. And then we engage in something which is not pious, so we get bitten by Maya Devi, and then we come back down. So hence it's the eternal merry-go-round. We go up and down, and hence we stay in the material plane. But Narad Muni is a great example. He's come and said to us, look, I've been there, I've got the t-shirt, I've got the video. This is the way. Chant, remember, and the Nam Kirtan. These are the ways. Just stop following the method of the material world. Just share this chanting, this name remembering, and this approach. Sharing is what we're doing now. Sharing is caring, and we're caring for each other. Caring for the associates is the service that we're doing for each other, but it's also service to the divine. And, this is such powerful stuff. This is transcendental knowledge that we are sharing with each other. The glimpse of Goloka, Vrindavan, or Vaikuntha isn't that far away, but you just have to continue and recognize that there are snakes, but rise the ladder. Keep that fan turned off, right? Even in the heat. Don't be tempted by all sorts of temptations that occur, right? Stay cool. You don't need the fan. So, and just carry on. This is not an easy journey, but Narad Muni, the eternal time traveler. White people have Doctor Who. We have Narad Muni, who remains the same personality. Doctor Who keeps changing personalities because white people struggle with keeping a storyline going. And hence, we have this eternal time traveler who tells us how to become the liberated spacemen. We are space people, if you think of it, because we've been here time and time and time again. So why, our souls travel the universe. We've got some of those qualities that Narad Muni has got. And Narad Muni is trying to instill those qualities in us. Right? And he says, look, if nature, the birds sing to the divine, the rivers flow for the divine, the trees move for the divine, why can't we do the same? The Lord has an emotion and feelings. Reciprocate with them, and He will reciprocate with you. And Narad Muni shows us the way. Let's not forget the way He's shown us. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Yeah, that fan that is unplugged, it can be replugged as well. So you're right. It's very important to keep the fan off and bring it to a full stop, like Nadmani. Otherwise, if it can be unplugged, it can be plugged back as well so easily, because we can easily fall down from the stage of bhava. You can reach the stage of bhava and still fall down. That's the danger. So we always have to be cautious of Maya. Maya can grab you at the last minute on the touch line. It can pull you back. You're just about to pass the touch line. Compared to sports, say rugby or football or something, it can still check you at the last second. So you have to be very careful. And we've seen people like Maharaj Bharat. He was at a stage of bhava, and he fell down from there. So yeah, we have to be careful. Thank you so much. Praveen Mataji, are you up to speak?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you. Thank you for the class. Yeah, I like the example of the fan. So the important message is how we have to be absorbed in Krishna all the time. And the shloka from Bhagavad-Gita, Krishna himself says, Man mana bhav mad bhakto madhyajimam namaskuru. Always engage your mind in me, thinking of me, become my devotee. And Narad Muni, he's shown how to be, his glorifying Lord all the time. And so, but what you said at the last, got me worried. Yes, it is a slippery road. We can fall from any stage. So it is very worrying. But I always say to Krishna, Krishna, I'm not very strong. Please, you only protect us, So it is hard. And in the beginning, you spoke about Vaidhi Bhakti and Raghunaga Bhakti. And we have to follow in the steps of gopis to love Krishna and to engage in bhakti, to serve him. Yeah, I think that's all I can remember, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, Srila Prabhupada also used to pray that, for whatever reason, I don't fall down, because he knows the strength of this Maya. So, even at the stage of Bhaktivedanta, Prabhupada is praying. Okay.
And we got no chance, Prabhuji.
And it-
Well, I haven't got any chance.
But we can all pray. That's the thing. Prabhupada, we all jivas. Prabhupada praying, we can pray. We are all equal to Lord Krishna, and he listens to the prayers.
I've got full faith in Krishna, 100% faith in Krishna. So he will not leave us.
But remember, we are part of the parampara, so we take inspiration and strength from that parampara train. We are part of that. We just stay connected, and the parampara pulls us. We follow in their footsteps. We stay on the same track as the parampara.
It is like the carriages. Then once you're connected, then it will keep going on the track. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Suresh Prabhu, would you like to say something? Okay, we'll go to Ajay Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Yeah. So Narad Muni is, like, we all know, is an inspiration to everyone. So important. So many devotees in so different ages as well. And his just example shows that if you just take shelter of Krishna, you can be spiritualized straight away. There's no sense of, oh, I must wait. Actually, if you just all about your level of surrender, really. Now, in this age of Kali Yuga, we struggle with surrender, but Mahaprabhu's made it easier for us. Just take shelter of him. He's more merciful in that way. And on top of that, we have the disciplic succession. So even if we're not qualified to fully surrender, or we feel that we're not qualified to follow the process properly, if we just follow the instructions of the Prabhupada, or if you have a guru follows his instructions, then you can get back on the path to Godhead. You can be essentially living in the transcendental plane, even if your body's still here in the material world. So sometimes it does seem like, oh, this is impossible, but it's actually, you just need to connect with Krishna. Like we're connecting with Krishna to Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. The connections are there. We just got to take advantage of it. And if we do that, then it becomes a lot easier. It's up to us to be sincere. And as long as we are sincere, we keep strengthening our faith, then we'll be fine. I think you'll get there eventually. Even if it's not this lifetime or the next lifetime. It seems like a long time, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not really that long at all. So you're on the right path. Just keep going, pretty much. That's what we get from when we understand that, when we see what the grand scheme of things. So yeah, I'll say to everyone, just keep going. Really, you'll get there. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Absolutely. Just follow the process. If you take the prescription, take the medicine, follow the process, then you're going the right way about it. Thank you. Brother Rani?
Hare Krishna, everyone. Yes, today's verses, they really set the scene for our bhaktis, and it Narad Muni has beautifully described the process in more uh, you know easy easy to understandable, like they said, bite sizes. He's been telling us that we have to do at least minimum chanting of 16 rounds, which is attentively. That has to be just chanting, nothing else. And that is going to take us back to Vaikuntha Lok. That is not a bad prospect if you think about it. And how, following the steps of the Raganuga Bhakti, of the Raganuga Bhaktas, we will be getting slowly admittance into the spiritual world. And we all are Rupanugas, because we are following our previous Acharyas, Rupa Goswami and his associates. They have laid down how they quit everything. They gave up all the material attachments. They gave up big posts. They gave up everything, and they were just living so simply, not even sitting under the same tree every day. So they have set the scene for us. So that means that if we are able to quit one desire in 1 year, we shouldn't go back to that desire in the following year. We should slowly make our life simple. That is what simple living and high thinking is. Getting less desires. We all say simple living, high thinking. What is that? Prabhupada simply tried to tell us in a very simple way that don't desire. If we keep desiring for the material life, that means Krishna will make sure we will get the visa to the universes time and time again, each time we are ready to get a new body. So it's up to us, our acharyas, and here Narad Muni. He's also one of our acharyas, and he's telling us that how he got that spiritual body exactly when he quit his physical body. So actually, we know that he always had spiritual body when he left home after his mother's passing to the forest. So, and the spiritual body is actually the eternal freedom from the modes of nature. As we know, Lord Krishna is free from modes of nature. So when we will get spiritual body, we'll be also free from the modes of nature. And these modes of nature, they give us desires, and they bind us to this world. And I was hearing when it was being told in the class that we will be getting a birth in the Gopi's house. So I was like, wow, amazing to have Gopis as your parents. And that will be like a completely different progression in your next life, and that is spiritual life. When we get spiritual body, then we'll get birth in Gopi's house. So to get a spiritual body and then to get birth in Gopi's house and get trained, get the apprenticeship in a Gopi's house, and when we pass the test there, then we get entry into the Loka where Lord is there in Golok Vrindavan, and then we serve Radha and Krishna there, and everybody else. So I don't know about all of you, but I just keep visualizing everything each time I hear beautiful realizations like this. And to hear that Prabhupada was thinking of not just serving to all of us in this universe, wherever he has to travel, whichever continent, to preach Krishna consciousness, which he did to the last minute. He did till he was here with us, and he was also prepared to even travel to the different universes. So how magnanimous is that? It's just like like Narad Muni has given his potencies into Srila Prabhupada, and all previous acharyas, they were same. And the fan, yes, we have to stop the fan of our desires and keep it unplugged. And no matter how many temptations come, if we think of the spiritual body, I think all the temptations, they don't mean anything. So thank you everyone for your wonderful realizations, and I wish everyone a very happy Nirjala Ekadashi. May Lord Hari keeps us even closer to His name, His glories, and His realizations today, so we can do some service to Lord today. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thanks so much. Yeah, fan of desires, fan of our karmic reactions. They slowly stop. And yeah, the karmic reactions are in hands of Krishna, but the fan of desires is in our hands. So we have to work on that. Obviously, still with the mercy of Krishna, but yeah, we can work on that. So thank you so much. Prabhupada ki jai,
Jai,
Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.